So Power Rangers Beast Morphers episode 13, Tuba Triumph, sort of felt like a filler episode. Stuff happened, but it felt like your typical monster of the day. The Rangers solved the problem, you learn a little bit more about the Ranger and their backstory-ish. So it sort of felt like a filler episode, but the important stuff going on in the background happened, such as the bad guys trying to get the DNA of the Power Ranger Beast Morphers when they get hit by their attacks. That plotline is still continuing this episode, and it's Roxy that's taken the main spotlight for that plotline. So the episode opens in the park with a little kid playing the tuba. Ravi's watching him, but he's also drawing at the same time, and we learn that about Ravi this episode. He's a bit of an artist, but as Ravi is drawing, behind them the other Rangers are playing football, they're playing sports, and it's cool that Nate is in the background having a go as well. He's not the greatest at throwing the ball, but it's good to see from last episode, Nate has given sports a try and he's joining in with the Rangers when they have their park activities such as playing sports and stuff like that. So it's cool to see that plotline about Nate is still continuing. He's still joining in, he's still playing sports with the Rangers. That's really cool. So the kid who's playing tuba in the park is bullied by a bunch of bullies. They pour soda down his tuba hole, and then the kid's like, I don't want to play tuba anymore, so he throws it in the bin. After that, when he walks off screen, Roxy appears with the device and turns the tuba into a tuba monster. It's going to be the monster of the day. And she says, I need the red cheetah DNA. So they're still focusing on that plotline where the bad guys need the powers of the bad guys to make their monsters stronger. Also, Blaze and Roxy can get an upgrade, but I get the feeling that Roxy might be getting the upgrade because all three of these plans have been done by Roxy. I think Blaze might have done something, or Roxy stepped in. I can't remember, it's been a few weeks, but Roxy has been the front and center of getting the powers from the Rangers when they fight them. It's always been Roxy doing it. Yeah, it has been Roxy doing it, because she did the drill one and the one before that, I believe. So it's been Roxy the entire time. So that's been really, really interesting with them trying to get the Rangers Beast Morpher DNA to power themselves up. So the tuba monster appears, the Rangers fight it, they kick its butt, and they send it back to the cyber dimension. They destroy it, they get rid of it really, really quickly, where Roxy and the monster have to retreat. Now let's talk about the whole Ravi plotline, because Ravi meets the boy in the park and he goes, hey, you play the tuba, that's really cool, my grandpa plays the tuba, and he was in a band, and the kid's like, that's really cool. And the kid notices that Ravi teaches karate classes at the Riptide gym, and he goes, can you please teach me a few things? And Ravi is like, sure thing, kid. So the next few minutes, or the next few scenes we get in this episode is Ravi teaching this kid karate, saying, don't ever care what people think about you, you're important, it's what you matter, it's what you do matters. It's a really cool lesson that he teaches the kid, and for the kids at home watching, so keep that lesson in mind, whatever Ravi said. So Ravi teaches the kid karate, and you do get sort of like a bait and switch where the kid goes, no one's going to mess with me now that I know karate, and Ravi's like, hey, you use that for self-defense only, boy. And he's like, oh, okay then. So Ravi teaches the kid karate, and there's one move that the kid can't get down, and that's the tornado kick. So as they have a few lessons, Ravi befriends the boy, where the boy learns that Ravi's an artist, and he's got a little picture that falls out, and I think it's a drawing of, it's either him and Zoe, I believe, or him and Roxy, but there is a photo of him and Roxy that opens up that Ravi quickly closes, so I can't remember who the portrait is of Ravi. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. But Ravi says, hey, I like drawing, but I can't get distracted by too many things. And then it cuts to him going back to Grid Battle Force HQ, where he's going through all his grandfather's instruments, which is on his mother's side of the family, because his mother walks in going, hey, is that my dad's tuba? And he's like, yup, it sure is. And it's funny how quickly she changes the conversation, going, hey, is that dad's tuba? Don't get distracted by silly things like instruments. You're a ranger, you can't afford to get distracted. So it shows that the Commander Shaw is very, very serious about her job. She takes it very seriously. No distractions here. So that's when Ravi gives the kid his grandfather's tuba, and Ravi has the big speech saying, hey, don't worry about what other people think of you, you just be you. And the kid's like, sure thing. So he takes Ravi's grandfather's tuba and is inspired to start playing the tuba again. Meanwhile, while this is going on in the cyber dimension, we cut between this at the start of the episode. I'm just trying to make sure I don't jump around the place. So back at the cyber dimension, Scrozza's like, oh, you messed up again, but Roxy's like, it was those Rangers' fault, and Scrozza's like, hey, I can upgrade the monster of the day and make him a lot stronger. And I think this is what Scrozzle's been doing in the past few episodes. He's been upgrading the monsters of the day with his tech. He's been giving them a few bits and pieces. And what he gives the Tuba monster is an amplifier that makes his Tuba blast a lot more stronger. So it's going to give the Rangers some trouble. And once he fixes it for the monster of the day, they're like, hey, we need a new test subject. And Blaze just walks in on screen. He's like, oh, don't you? Which was kind of funny because it was just Blaze. He just appears on screen and he's just standing there watching this happen. It's like, we need a guinea pig to try this new attack on. And Blaze is just standing and he's like, don't you dare. And then it cuts to the opening, which was a really weird way to do the cold opening. And Beast Morphers, it's been having like a cold opening where it shows the starting credits and then the opening, which I haven't brought up once during my review, but it's very weird. I want to bring up now. I know I'm like 13 episodes into the show, but it's very weird because the cold opening ends with Blaze going, don't you dare do that, and then it cuts to the opening, and then after the opening, it's Blaze getting blasted by the Tuba blast, and that's all we see of Blaze this episode. He's there to be like the punchline of a joke where he gets hit by the monster's attack and we never see him again. So Blaze was really cool last week, and this week he was a bit of a butt of a joke, so oh well. So for plot convenience, Nate has a new invention this episode that probably won't be brought up ever again because it was only for the Tuba monster, I'm guessing. So he's got a little device saying, hey, this can detect the Tuba monster's frequency, so when he attacks or does his little sound noises, we'll find him. And then halfway through the episode, in the third act, the kid playing the tuba that Ravi gave his grandfather's tuba, he's playing it in the park, he's making noises. Everyone's like, we're under attack by the Tuba monster, oh no. So then they rush to the park and they say it's only a false alarm, it's the kid playing the tuba. And Ravi smiles, he's like, hey, he's back at playing the tuba. So then they turn around and the real Tuba monster's there, and the Rangers are struggling to fight it. And I was thinking that we would see the cheetah mode this week, because we were sort of teased about it this year at San Diego Comic-Con, but because they used all the quick supercuts, I thought that we would be seeing it this week, because there is an ending shot when Devon kicks it, and I didn't know if it was in the arm of that episode. Maybe Tuba Monster comes back next week or something, who knows, but no cheetah claws this week, unfortunately. I was really hoping we'd see him. We'll probably see him next week, who knows, but they're coming. Nate invented them, they're coming, I can tell. So the Rangers struggle to fight the Tuba monster, and they're like, we can't defeat his frequency. So then the kid with the tuba steps in, and they have a battle of the bands where the kid blows into his tuba really hard, and he knocks back the Tuba monster and destroys his amplifier, saving the day. So the Rangers were saved by a little kid playing the tuba. That's just your typical Power Ranger filler stuff. I mean, I was expecting something else, but this, like I said, this did feel like a filler episode. Important stuff happened, but nothing too big happened. So Roxy manages to get the cheetah DNA, or does she? Because she brings it back to Scrozzle and the chip is damaged, and Scrozzle's like, you silly person, the chip's... He doesn't say it like that, but Scrozzle's like, you fool, the chip is damaged, I can't do anything with this. So, unfortunately, Scrozzle does not have the DNA of the Red Cheetah Ranger, unfortunately. So next week, the bad guy is getting another shot at trying to get the cheetah DNA. So maybe Blaze can finally get some DNA for once. Maybe Blaze can be useful with this plan of his, because he keeps getting shafted and pushed to the side for Roxy to take the spotlight, which is cool with me. I like Roxy. I like it when she's being all villainous and conniving, because she's always got that smirk on her face. I love the actress that plays her. She's like really good at being villainy and menacing. And once again, the day is saved thanks to the Power Rangers, where they destroyed the Giga Drone, they destroyed the smaller drone monster, and they go back to the Riptide Gym to celebrate, where they're like, hey, good job everyone, and the kid thanks Ravi for helping him out, getting him back into playing the tuba, and he gives Ravi a little gift, where it's a picture frame of a picture that fell out when they were talking about Ravi's hobbies earlier, where it sort of... It fell out. You can't see me doing quotation marks, but the kid says it fell out. But I get the feeling like it fell slightly and the kid just picked it up and put it in his bag. It didn't really fall that convincingly because it was paper. If you go back and watch that scene, it's sort of like, oops, I'll put this in my bag for later for plot convenience, and you know what I mean. So it's a really cool gift that he gives Ravi, the drawing that he gets framed, And then after that, Ben and Betty walk in, because there was a plot line, because there was not much of a gag. I mean, it got a chuckle out of me, but it wasn't a good old slapstick of a gag that they usually get into. So they're like, we're going to form a band, Ben and Betty are like, and they try and putting dishwashing soap in the instruments and try vacuuming it out. And then the bullies walk in and it's like, hey, can you stop that music? And the kid stands up to him. And this was a really interesting scene, because the 9-year-old kid stands up to the 9-year-old bullies to defend Ben and Betty. And as like the kid stands up to him, you see Devin standing up slightly, like, is Devin going to step in and fight these 9-year-olds? I know he won't, but it was just a really weird scene, because Devin stands up, he's like, maybe I should be the adult that breaks him up, but Ravi's like, no, he's got this. So the little kid steps forward. His name's Joey. I should have mentioned his name's Joey. The little kid that I've been talking about this whole episode, his name is Joey. So Joey steps forward and he's like, you better leave them alone. And the bully's like, oh, what else? And the kid does the tornado kick and it knocks his hat right off. And then the 3 bullies run away. It's like, we're not messing with you, guy. This guy knows how to high kick. And then that's where the episode ends. And that's episode 13 of Power Ranger Beast Morphers. Overall, it was a fun episode. It was a filler episode. Nothing too important happened. I mean, you had the plotline with Roxy trying to get the DNA or the powers from the Beast Morpher Rangers, but that never went really anywhere because the chip broke at the end of the episode, so we're sort of back to square one with Roxy and Blaze trying to get the Red Cheetah DNA. So that's the last one they need. So I'm guessing because it's the Red Ranger that they need, they're going to probably set it up for something very, very big, like maybe when Devin gets the power up, so they'll get twice the power up if they get the Cheetah DNA that's battle boosted. I don't really know, but anyway, fun episode. Felt like a filler episode, but either way, worth checking out. I mean, worth watching because it's a Ravi focused episode, so if Ravi's your favorite character, you'll enjoy it. So anyway, it was a good episode, fun episode. Like I said, a bit of a filler episode, but worth checking out. Anyway guys, I'm going to wrap up this review here. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys around. Peace out.